Hello everybody. Good evening to all of you present at this town hall. I would like to say a word of thanks to the people behind the Arts NMP Secretariat for their role in organizing this event. I am George Leong, a music producer, arranger and composer. Born and bred in Singapore, but internationally exposed. Most familiar with the pop music scene, but also with substantial experience in live performances. I am here to present my statement for your consideration in how I would represent the arts community and stand for the role of Arts NMP in Parliament. I feel the urgent need to step up to help Singapore's art community recover resiliently as we look beyond the COVID-19 pandemic, prepared as we may be for a different economy. Over the past few years, I have been involved in the operations of various ground-up initiatives. I am currently an EXCO member of National Instructors and Coaches Association, or NICA for short. I was involved in the setting up and running of NICA since it was registered in 2019 to represent the interests of freelance instructors and coaches. Over the past 2 years, our association has grown to a membership of over 1,000 freelancers who teach sports, outdoor adventures and learning, fitness, wellness, and of course, the visual arts and performing arts. NICA aims to be a collective and representative voice for members to engage the authorities and agencies on issues that impact their livelihood. I am also co-founder and director of Singpop Music Limited. Singpop is a non-profit organization set up to promote Singapore pop music and to help create a sustainable and vibrant music industry for all. These are the 3 key areas of interest that I promise to address as an Arts NMP. Number 1, support for post-pandemic recovery for the arts. The COVID-19 pandemic has severely impacted the businesses and livelihoods everywhere, the arts community in particular. Public health safety measures have put a stop to all performances and shows since the implementation of the circuit breaker on the 7th of April. Even as we approach phase 3, we will enable the opening of some venues through pilot performances. Existing safe distancing measures will continue to impact the viability of productions. If I am nominated into Parliament, I will work with the government and its agencies to provide tangible support for post-pandemic recovery for the arts in areas such as ensuring sufficient and fairer distribution of funding and support to create and present new works, advocating greater government buy-ins to raise the international profile of Singapore's arts and culture, so that our markets can be less dependent on imports. Forming a marketing and PR task force to focus on branding, increasing domestic consumption, as well as exporting Singapore arts and culture. Consolidating support between various ministries and agencies for the arts. Maximizing existing trade and cultural agreements with other countries in service of local arts and culture. I believe these are the main pillars to rebuild a healthier and sustainable arts ecosystem as we exit and recover from this pandemic. Area 2, arts freelancers. This pandemic has shown us that freelancers in the arts community are the most vulnerable. Many freelance performers, production crew, musicians, and educators are jobless. and many others have taken on alternative ad hoc jobs to make ends meet. I have been a freelancer for most of the 33 years of my career, and I have an invested passion towards freelancers like myself. If nominated, I will advocate for support towards sustainability for freelancers in the arts, events, and music sectors. I will work with the government and the labour movement to create an environment that will help freelancers build a progressive and sustainable career. Area 3. Copyright and intellectual property. Disrupted by COVID, shows, performances, and even education has begun its digital transformation. The arts community needs to strengthen its IP capabilities to prepare for digital or phygital presentations. Besides educating a community, the law and organizations will have to change to embrace new developments and challenges. Of all the IPs, copyright is perhaps the most important for the arts community. In fact, we can say that it is our commodity. The two areas in copyright which we need to work on immediately are, number one, amending of the Copyright Act to facilitate use. As mentioned, more and more artists and shows have to be performed online. This has turned producers of live entertainment into film producers and broadcasters. Those of us who have been involved in such productions know that we now need more than public performance licenses. Other rights are involved, and Compass is not the only organization which we need to approach. The license fees payable and administrative costs in obtaining clearance is now inflated. This issue needs to be addressed to maintain the livelihood of our musicians and performers. Number two, introduction of performers' rights into our Copyright Act to protect our performers. This is a right granted by copyright laws in many countries to protect performers. It gives them a right to prevent fixing or recording of their performances, broadcasting or transmitting them online. Traditionally, it gives performers direct recourse against bootleggers. With most performances having to go online, it creates a guideline for performers when negotiating their contracts. If a performer used to live performances unwittingly grants rights to record and to transmit them online, he could be giving up his sole means of income, his ability to perform. Performance rights have been granted by copyright laws in many countries. UK, an important music, literature, drama, and art producing country, has introduced this right into its copyright law since 1988. Closer to home, some of our neighbours within ASEAN have such a right. They include Malaysia, Vietnam, Cambodia, and the Philippines. The Rome Convention, an international multilateral treaty which promotes this right, has been around since 1961. This is older than George Leong. Given the increase in performances being put online, it is high time we introduce this right. If I am nominated for the role, I will actively engage the ground of different art forms to understand the issues they are facing. I will do my best to represent the interests of Singapore's arts community. If you feel that my heart is in the right place to take on this role, please give me your vote of support. Thank you.